Well, it's a very different competition than what we had in the Cold War. You know, those Nixon-Kennedy debates were, at the height of the moment of a U.S. contest against the Soviet Union, which was terrifying and nuclear, but there was a simplicity about it. There was a predictability about it. We understood who controlled their nuclear weapons. They understood who controlled ours. We knew who to call. The new Cold Wars are quite different, Margaret. We've got Russia and China coming together in a periodic partnership. I wouldn't say it's a full alliance. We have other players like Iran and North Korea, as you were discussing with earlier guests, supplying them, becoming sort of what the Iranians call an axis of resistance to the U.S. It is a far more volatile, I think far more dangerous period than we had even then. Well, there are a couple of different ones. You point out one in Africa, also an area that China has been wiring up with Huawei equipment and so forth. So we are concerned, rightly so, that the U.S., in not having a competitor straight on to put in 5G equipment, may be losing the opportunity to help bind the continent together. In the book, I take you to the Solomon Islands, a place the U.S. Fought for in World War II and scored a big victory, but now has basically moved over into China's camp. There's still some contest underway. But to answer your question more broadly, if you believe that there is something of a new Iron Curtain coming down, a place where you're going to divide the U.S., the NATO nations against China, Russia, Iran, others, it's somewhere in that borderland between Ukraine and Russia. In the end, one of the key indicators that the Russians were getting ready to roll came from Microsoft, whose engineers were noticing that malware that had been placed by the Russians on Ukrainian government agencies were being activated and sent a notice through their channels that ultimately went to the White House. At the end of the day, what kept Ukraine running was some combination of Microsoft and Amazon moving all of their data to the cloud, and then Elon Musk coming in and providing Starlink so they could communicate to that cloud.
Incredible.
Something we never saw in the old Cold War.